live town hall for the month of December. Oh man, we had a crazy, crazy, crazy month. So I'm very excited to like run through all the updates. We were jamming backstage just before this, and like, oh my gosh, the list of stuff has gotten so long. But yeah, we're really, really excited to share everything that we at Heartbeat have been working on to just deliver the absolute best community platform in the world for you to build and grow and scale your business. And so today, what we're going to be doing during our town hall, for anybody that's been here before, welcome back. For anybody that's new, we are so excited to have you. What we like to do with these town halls is we like to bring you in, create space, and talk to you about really three things. Number one, what we have done over the last month of Heartbeat, everything that we've gotten done from all of our different teams, the new pieces of product that we've put out, how we've grown and scaled up our marketing, our support, making sure that you understand all of the things that we are working on to better support and help grow your business. The second thing that we like to do is talk about all of the things that we're working on over the next month, over the next couple months, so that you have an understanding of where Heartbeat is going and how we are continuing to build in your direction. And then finally, we leave that last third section open because we like to pull feedback from every one of y'all, how you're building your business, how you're building on Heartbeat, to make sure that we are constantly going in the right direction. And I've said this at the start of town halls so many times before, and I'm gonna say it again. We thrive off your feedback. This is the thing where like, you're here with us for an hour, don't be silent, be vocal, and tell us what things you want us to build, what things you want our eye on. We have completely changed the product roadmap based off of stuff that you've requested. We've gone on complete like 3-month side quests because everybody in the town hall was like, you absolutely have to build this thing. So please, please, please be vocal. That is the biggest thing that you can do to help us, is help us understand, what can we be building next? And it's one of the secrets of why I absolutely love working with, builders on Heartbeat, because you guys are so vocal about do this, this, and this. And the secret is it kind of makes our job easier when you do that. So like I said, please be vocal. So to kick this thing off and really get started, what we're first going to do is we're going to talk about what we've got coming up, or what we got done, over the last month of Heartbeat. And each of the teams here is going to share a little bit about what they were working on, what they got done. We'll have some demos, we'll have some cool stuff to display for you. So I'm really excited about that. So one of the biggest changes to Heartbeat over the last really month, 2 months, is just the sheer amount of hiring that we've done. We have massively expanded our team. For those of you that remember us back when we were like 2 people, 3 people, we've grown from 6 to 14 team members in just the last 2 months, scaling up across every piece of the organization, from growth to support to product to engineering. And so we're really gearing up for a massive, massive 2026 where we can build so much more for you. We can bring on so many more builders onto Heartbeat, and we can continue to support you in new and more powerful ways. So I'm so excited. Every single person that we brought on is just an incredible operator. And we have a mantra in Heartbeat, especially when we're hiring, of like, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And I can tell you every single person that we brought on was multiple hell yeses from the team. And it was not just that, it was, can we get them on the team literally as soon as possible? Like, what would it take to get them to start in a day, in 2 days? And so I'm really, really excited about the incredible folks that we brought on. You're going to hear from a couple of them as we get this thing started. But yeah, huge shout out to everybody on the team and the amount of work that it took to just cross this finish line in terms of scaling up. So without further ado, I'm going to now hand it off to the product team. Nick, Mehul, Andre, please take it away in terms of everything that got done over the last month from product.
Awesome. Thank you, Murtaza. And yes, really excited to share the updates for what we did on the product side last month. First and foremost, we released Pulse to every community on Heartbeat earlier this week. So if you're not seeing Pulse, then you didn't look in your top right corner of your community and see the little Pulse globby icon. But you now have access to Pulse, which is your AI collaborator and teammate to help you build and grow your community, whether you're just starting out or you have an existing thriving community and looking to consistently make changes and keep growing. We're really, really excited about this, especially with how we've seen some of y'all using Pulse. Me and Andre have had the privilege to talk to a bunch of y'all over the past couple of weeks and just hear your feedback and how you've been using Pulse, your aha moments, your wow moments, and even the moments where you're like, I wish Pulse did better here. And we've taken all that feedback and we're just like so excited to continue building what y'all have been using here. One stat I wanted to share with you is in the past month and a half that Pulse has been released to, in some degree, we've had over 24,000 actions taken using the Pulse AI teammate. And that's actions like creating onboarding from scratch, optimizing your onboarding for conversion, creating new channels, creating new events. Some of you creating dozens and dozens and dozens of events at once, or dozens and dozens and dozens of channels at once. We've seen y'all creating new offer sets and even discovering new features you may have not even known about in Heartbeat just because you asked. And if there's anything I want to leave you with before I show a little demo here, it's if you're curious about if Heartbeat can do something, just ask Pulse, because Pulse will know. And if Pulse can do it, it will. And that's the beauty of it, is now you can have that constant curiosity to keep learning the depth of the Heartbeat platform and how you can add new tools, features, or offerings or content to better serve your community. So really quickly, before we get into the quality of life updates, I want to show you a little demo of creating a course with Pulse, just so you have a little taste of what it's like to interact with them. And there's one thing I want to call out here is Pulse is a collaborator, and what it's really meant to do is to build with you, not build completely for you. And we've built it in such a way that every time Pulse is going to take an action, it actually pauses and waits for your confirmation. And so I'm going to show you that really quickly here in a quick interaction, creating a course from scratch. All right, here we are. I just pulled up Pulse by clicking the little Pulse glob in the top right. We see it's dancing and ready to go. So I'm going to use a speech to text to enter into Pulse here. And we're actually working on a internally built speech to text tool too. So if you like talking instead of typing, that is coming. Let's say, hey Pulse, I want to set up a course for my community called the Growth Lab. The course is going to be called the Growth Sprint. Let's do 2 modules with 4 lessons in each, and please generate the actual lesson content for each. I'm going to change it so you can just make it like super brief outlines. All right, let's hit enter. And what Pulse is going to do now is it's going to look throughout my community and build context around what I already have, what my community is about, what other courses do I have, and how does this course fit into the overall member journey, right? We've built Pulse with the best practices of what we know works with community building, from course-based communities to event-based communities, and even just like ordinary paid communities with discussion spaces. So we see Pulse is asking, what should the 2 modules focus on? Let's see. Let's have the first module should be strategy and planning, like you said. And yeah, let's do it execution and optimization as well. Take it away. We always make sure Pulse gives you some good starting point, but I could have just as easily said to Pulse, no, you got it all wrong, buddy. Try again and maybe do it differently this time and give it some feedback, and it will take that feedback. Okay, so now what we have here is Pulse is ready to take action. And instead of just going ahead and creating it, yeah, buddy, it's the New York coming out, sorry. Before it goes ahead and creates the course and takes action, it gives me this module to look at and review. It says, okay, I'm going to create your growth sprint course. First, I'm going to create the course, and then I'm going to create 2 modules, just like I asked. And if I don't like anything here, maybe I don't actually want to create that second module anymore. I just subtract it. And we don't have to go back and forth anymore and say, actually, I don't want this. I want this instead, and regenerate things. It's as easy as just crossing it out. And then actually I do want it, so I'm going to change my mind and add it back. Cool, let's click approve. Oops, I right-clicked, there we go. And it's already done. And these little eyes pop up, and now we could preview the work that Pulse just did. And I encourage you all to always review the work that Pulse does, because it's supposed to be a collaborator. We don't want your communities to be all AI generated. We want you to be empowered by a collaborator to build the community together. So I'm going to click the I and view the course. And here we are in the growth sprint. I'm going to minimize and scroll down here. And we see we have those 2 modules, just like we said, and the course, and it even pre-filled the description for me. We're going to open this back up, and we already have the second action set prepared for us by Pulse. It's going to create all 8 lessons here for me. And you know what? Maybe I don't want this lesson, and maybe I don't want this lesson. Sure. So we'll go ahead and click approve. And we see Pulse is going to work through these one at a time, and it skips the ones that I didn't want to do. Oh, thank you, Kathy, for that feedback. Didn't realize there was an eye to look at what I did. It's very helpful. Yeah, we could work on making that a little more obvious too, because we really did want to make it as easy as possible to see the work that Pulse is doing. So now we see I canceled out 2 of those lessons. So now it created 3 in each module. And even if I click to preview any of these, we have a baseline outline of the lesson itself. Now, again, y'all, for those who have worked with AI, you know that the term slop comes around and is thrown around quite a lot. And we encourage you to build your own content. AI is really, really powerful for getting you a head start or even outlining ideas that you have. But at the end of the day, humans are the best for actually creating engaging content that other humans want to engage with. So I just wanted to add that as a disclaimer. And that's also something we think about a lot through Pulse development is how are we making this a teammate and tool to collaborate on building and not something that's going to add slop into your community. Okay, we have 2 other lessons it wants to add, but I'm just going to say, forget it. I don't want it. And we'll stop right there. From here, though, Pulse often asks, like, what do you want to do next with the course? Because we tell Pulse to always think proactively around what is best practice. And here, best practice is we should decide who should access this course. So if I were to keep going here, I would say, okay, let's work on who should access this. If I don't have an offer built up already, I'll create an offer and make this a paid course. Maybe I'll make it a $100 course and bundle it into a membership. Truly, the world's my oyster, but I'll stop talking your ear off here. And if you have any questions about the demo, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll keep going.
We do have a couple questions coming in, and so I wanted to pull up those where possible. So first question that we had, and there's a lot of love for Pulse in the chat, so we've been pulling up some of those there. Now, Terica asked a really good question, which was, will we be able to add attachments to Pulse?
Yeah, great question. That is on the docket. So we're looking to allow file attachments to Pulse. That'll be helpful in many ways. I'm sure like you're thinking of ways where you can give it content you've already built out in a separate file and have it read it and add it somewhere. We're also thinking of like if you are building your community up for the first time and have all these digital assets that you want as channel banners or your logo or your splash image to allow a file attachment there too. So it is on the docket, not available just yet, but coming soon.
Cool. And then Chris had a great question, which actually just popped up, which was, it's been great so far. I was using it today to get my community set up. One thing, I was working with it and hid the dialogue to see the full screen, but when I went back to it, it lost our previous conversation.
Gotcha. That's a helpful feedback. And one thing I want to point out is, actually, Murtaza, can you mute? I'm hearing myself.
So sorry.
No worries. I just realized my voice is so much higher than I thought. If you click on the icon here and pull up your chat again, in the top right, we save all of your chat history. So there's a chance, unless this was a bug, there's a chance it just started a new chat and you could access your old chat by clicking the little clock, and there might be a chat history there that you can go to. If it's not there, reach out to support. We want to make sure that's fixed so that you don't lose your history. But yeah, that might be the culprit.
Cool. Okay. It looks like one more question, and this one came from Michelle, and I'm actually going to just like barely edit this question. So Michelle asked, can Pulse generated documents be put into an admin section instead of the resources section, which may be public? And so my edit is like, how would you do that, Nick?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now there's draft status for a lot of things in Heartbeat, right? So you can create draft lessons, which are not seen until you publish it. You can create draft events, which aren't seen until you publish it. With docs, it's a little bit more nuanced. It's not as clear how to do that. Michelle, exactly what you said is the best way to do that. You would create a admin section that's only accessible to admins to view the documents in there. And I would just draft any documents you don't want to be seen in there. And then when you're ready to publish it, you just tell Pulse, or you can manually move it from that admin section into a public one. So when you're talking to Pulse to do all this, you can just say, hey, Pulse, like create an admin section that's only available to admins, and let's start generating content that's placed into there.
And that's what I really wanted to call out is the exact way that you asked that question. I would literally copy and paste that into Pulse, and it's going to do exactly what you're looking for. And that's the nice part, right? Is whenever we're dealing with technology, especially when it's like, we're looking at new tools and new tech, it's really hard to like understand the language and acclimate to it and figure out how am I going to build my business in this. And that's the really nice part about Pulse is literally the way that you phrase it, just drop it into Pulse and it will take care of it for you. And that's what I found so magical about how Pulse works so far.
Yeah, and I noticed as well, follow up with Chris to he did find the chat, so yay. It was in history, but you also noted that like by asking Pulse in the new chat, hey, can we continue our conversation? Pulse didn't know what you were talking about. So that is one important thing to call out is right now, each chat, each conversation you have is distinct from the other. We are thinking about adding ways where Pulse can look at chat history of other chats to kind of gain context. But right now, when you're starting a new chat, assume that you're basically starting from scratch with the task that you were working on.
Cool. And then one more question came in from Alicia, which is there a way to rename the chats inside of Pulse? I was trying to do that yesterday, but wasn't sure if it was possible.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Right now, no. Right now, they're all just AI-generated titles based on the conversation, but I could definitely see us adding a way to edit that.
And I love these questions, by the way, because it pushes us to think more about the design of how you perceive it, what you're coming in thinking and expecting. And what I'll also call out, which is just the absolute coolest thing about Pulse, is Pulse was built out. There was a lot of internal testing. We had some beta testers that were using it. And what we found were the beta testers were getting so much value, so much success out of Pulse that we actually ended up releasing it a lot sooner than we expected because we were like, we can't just like keep this thing under lock and key when we know it can help so many people's businesses, when we know it can unblock so many of the things that people are struggling with. And so there's like a lot of these like design features and experience features that we're still like kind of catching up and building because we were like, man, this thing works even better than we expected it to. We've got to put it in people's hands. Right, Nick said, we've got 24,000 actions that have been confirmed through Pulse. So it's been helping so many people. We didn't want to lose that over the last month. And so like now we get to continually fine tune and make sure from an experience perspective, it really hits all of the marks and just feels like a beautiful, elegant tool that builds your business alongside you.
Love it. Any other questions?
I think on Pulse, we're pretty much caught up here. Dwight, I saw your question earlier on. I'm going to save that when we get around to the general Q&A, just because I want to make sure we can clump these by topic if we can, but I haven't lost any questions that were from the very beginning.
Amazing. Well, I have one ask I'll leave you with before I leave the demo here, and that is please, please, please always provide feedback. Pulse is brand new, and she needs some love, and we're trying to every day make it better and better. And you can help by hovering over any message that you get from Pulse, whether you loved it or didn't love it. Tell us thumbs up or thumbs down, and we'll ask for more feedback, whether it was up or down. Tell us what you think and why you think it, and send it in. That goes directly to us. I read every single one of them, and if you give us feedback that we can make Pulse better, then it will be better as soon as possible. I try to implement this feedback daily, so please, please, please help us out in making Pulse better.
And we did actually get some good feedback in the chat from Kathy about like an issue she was having where Pulse was pulling some data that wasn't accurate to the numbers. So yeah, Kathy, we can take a look at that more deeply. Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks. Alrighty. So beyond Pulse, there were other updates that we did last month with the product that we're super excited about. One, for those of you using waitlists, which is a lot of you, and thank you for leveraging this feature for building like new launches and even starting your community for the first time. We now support tax collection. For some of you, this isn't really as relevant. If you're not making a certain amount of income over a certain threshold, depending on your state, you don't really need to collect taxes. But if it is a necessity for you and you use waitlists, that's now supported. We also added back the event guest list to the desktop view. I know that was something that was mistakenly removed when we did a big update to the events page and the admin panel for events. So thank you for providing that feedback and catching that. And it's back. The third is a long-awaited feature, and I hope she's on this call because she's asked for the past 3 months for us to do this. Yeah, Anita, we have the 3-column layout for documents and courses again. So let me just go to our test community here. If I go to my courses, you'll notice, ooh, 3 columns instead of 2. And now it's much more prettier, and you can see more on the page. And now you won't have as long of a list of courses. And same thing in the docs section as well. If I had more than 1 document section here, you would see 3. But yeah, very, very excited that we made that change. And sorry it took so long, but we're happy that we got it done. Thanks, Nicole. Awesome. Cool. So last thing in terms of quality life updates, I'm actually passing to Mehul to explain some fixes that we've been working on for Loom and YouTube embeds.
I know that this was kind of a big issue for a lot of y'all that have video embedded in your community, and we know that a lot of you rely on this video for your community, so we do kind of regret it when it adds this extra level of friction for you. We've been looking very deeply into kind of where those issues were coming from. Specifically, it's often coming from changes that Loom makes to like the embed formatting and how we display that in Heartbeat, and we've managed to, from what we were able to see, get it working for both YouTube and Loom on iOS, and then on many Android devices as well. We still have a couple Android devices that we're still tracing down to see where that's coming from, but we are kind of continuing to track those down to make sure that those videos are playing as expected. Sweet. And then, yeah, that was kind of like a high level on a lot of the quality of life updates from this last month. There's a lot of a longer list of just like smaller things we're always tackling. And then the other big exciting news from the product engineering team here at Heartbeat is that we have 3 more engineers joining the team. And so you guys can expect a lot more features coming, a lot more fixes, a lot more improvements. We're just very excited to have more people on the team to help continue to build things out. And we have 2 of them on the call today. And so Lily, if you want to briefly say hi and introduce yourself.
Hi. Sorry, I should look up here, not down there. I'm Lily. I'm a senior software engineer here at Heartbeat. I say a senior software engineer, not the senior software engineer. just my title. I'm not in charge of anybody. But yeah, I work on the application, adding features to it, and I'm excited to be here.
Sweet. And then we also have Jason, if you want to introduce yourself briefly.
Great to be here. Yeah, this is my first week at Heartbeat, and I've joined the engineering team. Super excited. It's really humbling meeting all the amazing people at this company. The mission is great. The community is great. Super happy to be here, and can't wait to start doing more.
Sweet. Very excited, and really come with a lot of deep experience working on the same technology that we use for Heartbeat, as well experience kind of working with communities and people online. And so very excited to be able to make more progress there.
Easily a huge spike of reactions of hearts and party confetti and everything in the live stream right now. So thanks to everybody tuning in. It's silent thrills is all I have to say. And then there's, of course, all of the exclamation points in the chat. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate that.
And I will say, like, up till now, it's been Mehul on his lonesome, maintaining, building, and running the entire Heartbeat product and application. And Mehul, as incredible as an engineer as he is, I've never seen him so excited about other engineers as Jason, Lily, and the team members that we brought on the engineering side. He has just been like over the moon. And so just like, I think the quality and the speed and the capacity of engineering that you're going to see at Heartbeat is just about to balloon. And I'm so hyped for 2026 because of this.
If you guys have ever seen that meme where it's that giant stack of blocks and there's that one tiny block that keeps the whole thing up, that's been Mehul the entire time. He's been that little linchpin block, and now we have 3 little blocks all holding it up, which is good because that means Mehul could take a break every now and then from being our Atlas holding the whole thing up here. All right, guys. I think we where's that now? Is it me? Is it my turn? Are
I
we
think
there?
it's growth. Yeah.
Oh, we are me. Okay, guys. Let me get this off the screen. Watch the chat for me if you would, please, guys, for the questions. I want to celebrate your milestones here in the audience, guys. So your earnings through Heartbeat. The people who are using Heartbeat payments have crossed over 17 million, 17.1. In a total volume that's processed through the Heartbeat platform that we can see, because some of you are still processing outside of Heartbeat payments, and there's a couple of things we're trying to do to help you guys get in on all of the upsell, cross-sell stuff you can do with Heartbeat payments. But just that cohort alone did $1 million in the days leading up to Cyber Monday. So I was watching this chart. This is the day-by-day income I got to watch go into your guys' pocket right here in this chart. I'm a nerd. I like my charts a lot. And Murtaza was like, hey, you need to drop the technical down a little bit for these town halls. Like, no, the chart's going in. And so you can see you guys crested at 60K a day going right into your guys' pockets. So congrats to you all for an amazing holiday season. And as a whole, for jumping up over 17 million in total revenue to your communities. Congrats to you. Really just well done from all of us. This is what we love to see. This is my North Stars, watching you guys do really well. See, they love graphs. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Claire, for validating me in the chat. Putting that on the screen right now. That's going on the screen, the graphic. There it is. Okay, awesome. Let's scroll on down if you would, Nick, a little bit. Let's go down here. Also, I want to celebrate 39 of you have now crossed the 100K milestone, so applause to you all. The big ugly number that everybody aspires to cross, right? That's up from 33 the last time we did the town hall. That means we got 6 new people in the 100K club. That we can see. Again, I stress that because that means we got more communities out there doing more than this, that just we don't have them in the Heartbeat payments ecosystem for me to be able to measure it. And I'm sad because then that means my chart is not all of the chart goodness that it could be. So if you want to make Mike happy, we should switch to Heartbeat payments so that I can see all the goodness in my charts. Help Mike chart. help Mike's chart. Thank you, Nick. That's our new campaign. Hashtag, make sad marketer happy so that chart is good and goes up to right. Okay. Also, again, just the folks taking advantage of Heartbeat payments. So really excited for you guys. And for everybody else who's not, congrats to you too. We've had some amazing testimonial stories come in over the last month as well. So really very happy to see those as well. Recent projects and achievements. I didn't put it in the bullet point, but I want to say case studies. We've been talking to people who have done amazing things on our platform, whether they used Heartbeat payments or not. So thank you guys. It's Mac Enterprises and Murtaza. I know you've talked to like 3 or 4 people recently.
Yeah. We have some incredible case studies coming out. We have a community that's like well into the 7 figures of revenue. We have another community that just crossed 7 figures, and the founder paid off the mortgage of her house because of the amount of earnings she was getting from Heartbeat. Like, just crazy, wild stories. And what I love about them is they're not just, hey, we hit this revenue number, let's go do a victory lap, but they actually talk you through what they did, how they built their business, and tactically what allowed them to actually grow and scale to that point. So I'm so excited to start sharing some of this stuff. Like, we have a ton of really amazing content built around this, and we are continuing to talk to more and more folks that are building great communities and businesses on Heartbeat.
Fantastic. Honestly, goals, Claire, same. Really just happy for you, happy to provide this to you guys so you can see what is not just dreamable, but very, very possible. And Dave, really glad to see the Heartbeat payments is working well for your quarterly payments model. Really happy for that for you. Major achievements here from us. Rip through these real fast. We have a new affiliate program out right now. If you're not an affiliate, you probably would want to think about it because we're paying out $5 per free trial that you refer to us, and we're paying out $100 per new subscriber that comes from your referral link. So if you guys haven't been an affiliate yet, I put them in my newsletter updates. You can also join them from our website. But really this is such a powerful program. We are thrilled to be paying out like hundreds of dollars to people for bringing in customers because you guys know who the best fit are. Because you're one of us. Like, and I say us because I built a community too. But like, you are the ideal customer, and you know the ideal people that would benefit from this. So share it, get paid to share it, and if you're not, sign up for the affiliate program. That's running. That reward structure is going to run through January 15th, and we're going to check it out and see what we can do after January 15th. Maybe spice things up a little bit from there. But if you like $5 per free trial, jump in on that one. I've been doing my newsletters. I've been trying to demo Pulse, just like the way Nick did, just to show that you don't have to be the product guy that made Pulse to do Pulse right. I just jump in and I word vomit at it through my microphone, and guess what? It listens to me. It's very patient, and I appreciate that very much. It's also extremely accurate and helpful. And I will share just a brief comment that I had it rebuild my real community in a demo community environment. It did a better job than me. I'm kind of sad because I had to go into my real community and fix a bunch of things. So fantastic work, product team on Pulse there. And we've had crazy new growth recently. Since November 25th, over 1,000 new communities have been built on Heartbeat. That is an insane number. Like we would average before Black Friday somewhere between 150 and 200 a week. Seeing 1,000 come in over the course of just 10 business days, amazing numbers. So welcome to all the new folks. If you haven't caught one of these yet, I'm glad you're here, either watching it live or on the replay. Welcome to the Heartbeat family. And anytime you need support or backup, we got your back. And honestly, the best weekly volume of new free trials we have ever seen have all been in the last month. So really just congrats to everybody who signed up, and thank you for being here. We appreciate you very much. Murtaza, grab us some support updates in there.
I got you. Alrighty. So talking about some of the big support updates, support's benefited, support's been doing so much work on their own, but what we're seeing is just as support continues to improve a lot of the AI tools and work with product on sending stuff upstream, we've seen AI tools actually resolving so many tickets. And what I want to call out here is just the sheer amount of work that our team has put into fine tuning these to make sure they're getting you really good, quick, fast, and thoughtful answers. So Pulse is helping a lot of folks build faster, answering a lot of basic questions of, hey, how do I set up an offer? How do I put this together? Like one of the quick stats that we saw is with Pulse, people are setting up, people are 3 times as likely to actually create and set up an offer on Heartbeat, right? So there's so many things that we're seeing Pulse do really effectively. What support's also done is worked with Intercom's Fin to build an AI bot that directly answers questions from the help center, and it's actually directly resolving about 72% of the questions coming into support, which is absolutely massive. Our end goal here is a lot of the quick and easy questions, right? The how do I build a course, right? Where do I go find the affiliate program? How do I set up a paid offer in Heartbeat? How do I set up my first workflow? We want to make sure that all of those quick questions are really quickly answered by AI tools so that you can get back to building. And then what we want to make sure is that when you run into real problems, real challenges, difficulties, there's time-sensitive questions, we can always get you to a human as quickly as possible. My ultimate hope is that regardless of how much you're paying us, when you reach out to Heartbeat, within minutes, you hear back from us and we're able to help you get there. And we're working towards that vision day in and day out. And so that way, as you're building your business, when you run into a real issue, there's always a human that you can get in touch with. So that's what we've seen over the last month and a half. And we're continuing to improve on this so much each week. What we've also done is improve how we're reporting when AI fails, right? When you get an incorrect answer from an AI bot, how do we make sure that we're getting better and better at that over time? And how are we strengthening these tools to always make sure that you have the best answer possible? And then lastly, the final point, if you want to scroll down a little bit, Mike, is just improved reporting for the queue sentiment. If there's people that are frustrated, if there's people that are still running into problems that we're not getting to quick enough, being able to surface and understand that. So we know not just from the data and the numbers, but even from the actual experiences that you have, how are we doing in terms of getting back to you, in terms of responding and making sure that you're able to get further along on your business when you're building on Heartbeat? And then proactively finding breakage based off the different tickets. Because with a larger support team, what can happen is maybe something breaks in Heartbeat, right? Maybe an embed breaks and one message will go to Danny on our support team. Another message will go to Mafalda. Another message will go to Siobhan. And those are 3 people that each see this as one individual bug. But the reality is that's 3 people that just reported the same bug. Right? So we want to be able to have analysis across our entire support queue to proactively find these issues, send them up to engineering and patch them quickly. And now we have some really great reporting built in to help us do that. Cool. So with that covers everything on the support side of things over the last month.
And I will speak briefly to community so we can keep on moving here. We do have event replays on YouTube and in the Hearth. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, please join the almost 900 folks who already have. We have every tutorial we have ever done there. Lots of great recipes and help docs, as well as excerpted content. If you don't want to sit and watch the 1-hour tutorial, we've pulled out the magic moments and made them shorts and just shorter regular videos. From November 5th, we have Serena Gasparini's recording on creating safe and inclusive spaces. And from the 19th, we have Krista Miller on getting hundreds of new members with a virtual summit. Also, as a reminder, in the Hearth, our community for community builders, if you're not a member, please do. There's almost 5,000 people in there. And we have a courses channel managed by Patrick Nairn, usually on one of these calls. I don't know if Patrick was in the chat, but if you are, hey, Patrick, every Tuesday we got those office hours running. And we have an automations channel managed by Misty Dorman and doing a live meeting once a month. Also, in the resources area, there is in progress a new preferred partners section area. This is where you can navigate to and look at agencies and other brands that provide you with the stuff above and beyond the scope of what our software does, but are absolutely essential to you doing really great business motions. So marketing support, podcasting, content creation, migration, if you're leaving Facebook groups behind, things like that. So we are celebrating here. This is an example. Heather Angel is one of our preferred partners. Oh, it's me. Yes, Heather, there you are in the chat. Appreciate that. Yes. So we have a lovely little bio about these partners. These are folks who have done a number of tutorials with us. We know them. They've been with us for a while, and so we are endorsing them as a preferred partner of Heartbeat, and you can trust to reach out to them if their services match what you need to grow. So definitely check that out in the Hearth. All right, now it's the future time.
All right, so now we get to talk about what is coming over the next month. So let's leave the past in the past. Let's, we've reveled in it enough. Now let's talk about what's coming. And firstly, on the product side, we're very excited to share a project that Andre's been working on since he actually joined. Actually, day one, Andre came to me and was like, okay, I know all the projects you want me to go on here, but I have a project of my own that I want to work on, and that is a new design system for Heartbeat. So Andre, I'm going to let you take it away here while I pull up your Figma.
All right, thanks, Nick. So Nick's going to just kind of walk through some of the screens or components, but I just want to share some of the thinking and philosophy around the design system and language that we're trying to move towards. So one of the big pillars of rethinking the way that we design at Heartbeat is how can we, one, make things more streamlined and effortless for our users, but also give you guys less of the cognitive load of having to think about design. Now, on top of that, one of the things that me and Mayhaw have been thinking about a lot over the past few weeks is how can we do that while also still giving you all the ability to customize and make your communities your own. And we've come up with a lot of cool concepts that we're playing with now. And the goal is to implement a lot of this design system in Q1 of next year. Some of that's already happening now behind the scenes. And so you may see some of these things change and work their way into the existing platform as we transition. But the goal over time is that Heartbeat will get a lovely facelift. It will become more simplified, more streamlined, and overall just faster and more performant to use. But in combination with that is also taking in your guys' feedback over the past few years of things you would like to see and improve. This one's a shout out to Mike, fixing the reply configuration so you know when you're replying to a comment versus replying to a thread. And small little paper cuts like that, we're going to try to eliminate as many of those as possible. Now, it won't happen overnight, so we just ask for a little bit of patience. But I've been hard at work, even to the wee hours, like 4 a.m., working on this to get things tidied up and ready so we can start putting it in your guys' hands come next year. And so if you have any questions around this, feel free to drop them in the chat, or any feedback, always welcome.
We have people in awe, Andre. So that's what we have. And just love all the way around. It's the little things, guys. It's like everything from like the shadow behind a label, and you'd think it'd be nothing to think about, but it's just, these are the things that just as a whole make things so much smoother for users or members of communities to understand. Fantastic.
Yeah, we're really excited. He's been cooking it up over there in the wee hours of the night. And we're really just working out a way to how can we get this in your hands as quickly as possible, but also not break parts of the interface that you use every day. So it's a fun problem to solve, and it's a problem that we're working on solving right now. And that's why it's going to take a little bit of time instead of just like blinking and it's there. But we are very, very excited for it.
And guys, when I say like Andre is a world-class designer, oh my gosh, Andre is a world-class designer. He's designed for some of the best companies out there. Done designs for companies like KeepSafe and Tinder. This is like, I'm so excited because this is going to be the most like professional, well thought out facelift that we've ever done at Heartbeat. And this is just like an entire new era of what it's going to be like using the Heartbeat platform.
And Dave, just to answer your question, you asked, will this include the front page, like the custom landing pages that you can do with sign-up pages? It is related in the sense that since our design system is changing, all of the components on that landing page will also look slightly different. However, I'm assuming that you want more control than that, and that is coming I'd say in 2026. I don't have like an exact roadmap for you, but it is a project that like we're very aware of it being a pain point for y'all, and we do want to put some effort into improving the customization overall across the platform for you.
Yeah, it's something honestly like very near and dear to us, of just like, especially when you're getting started, being able to have control over the website, being able to have a lot more flexibility, being able to like really have your brand displayed online as an accurate and really clean representation of you. It's super high priority. There's a couple things that are like ahead of it in the queue right now, but I can pretty much promise you that like everybody at Heartbeat is like thinking about it.
Cool. All right, I will try to run through as fast as I could the rest here because I do want to leave time for y'all to ask your questions at the end. But a few other things we're working on that will be available in the coming month. You may know if you've created and managed your coupons with us at Heartbeat Payments, you have to go to Stripe right now to do that. And our philosophy here over the next year is to have you not have to go over to Stripe as much as possible. Strictly because with an integration with Stripe, you know, processing your payments, we don't want you to have to worry about breaking things, or we don't want to have to constantly toe the line of like, you can do this in Stripe and you can't do this in Stripe, and then you have to do this in Heartbeat. So what you'll see over the next few months is us trying to pull as much as we could into Heartbeat so you don't have to leave the platform to do what you need to manage your monetization and subscriptions and memberships. So this month you will see creating and managing coupons all inside of Heartbeat, which will also unlock some new functionality in the future for incorporating coupons in more fun ways with your offers. Another thing that we're working on currently is DM rules. If you haven't seen my Loom video in the Hearth about this, hit it up. It's a nice video. It has some really awful jokes in there, and I was demoing how DM rules works. Actually, should I demo it right now, y'all? Do we have time?
You got 16 minutes. It depends on how many
Speed
we want
demo.
to have queue.
Speed demo.
It's got to be fast. You got over 12 questions in the queue to answer.
Yes, sir.
At the end.
All right. So DM rules. We've heard your complaints that you don't want to just be able to have to turn on DMs for everybody or off DMs for everybody. Y'all have complex membership models, complex communities. And especially when you have a free tier, you might have a community where you want some folks to access DMs and other folks to not access DMs. So we're revamping the DMs model and allowing you to create rules to decide which groups and roles in your community can DM who. So coming soon, instead of the prevent DMs toggle that you see now, you'll see this direct messaging toggle here. And when you turn it on to enable DMs, you'll be able to manage rules. And if you click that, you'll see a couple of preset rules to start. These preset rules basically say that everybody in my community could DM everybody, right? So we have an undeletable rule, so you never lock yourself out, that admins can always message everybody. We don't want you to get locked out of DMs. That would be bad. The second rule is saying that anybody in my community can message anybody. But let's say we want to change that. Let's create a rule where my members can only DM other admins and moderators. So it's only members to admins and mods. So we're just going to go ahead and change this any role to my users. So my users in any group can't message anybody else, right? So we can stop there if we wanted to, but we're not done yet. We're going to click new rule and create one more rule that basically says, while they can't message any other user, they can message my admins and my mods. And that's it. It's easy as that. Click save and we're done. But I'll give you one more example for you because we're going nice and fast here. I'll cancel that, restart, fresh set of rules here. So I'm going to click manage rules again. And in this case, let's say that we want to create a system where my free members in my community can't DM anybody, but my paid members can, right? So now here's a new value add for my community. This is something I could add to my tier description saying, if you join the paid tier, you can access direct messaging and message other people, especially if you have a networking based community. This is really powerful to be able to access other folks one-on-one in the community to network. So I'm going to say any role in my free member group can't message anybody else. Step 1, complete. New rule, any member in my premium member group, my premium folks, can message everybody. And that's it. Click save, and we've just created a new value add for my paid membership. So we're really excited to roll this out. I'm happy to answer questions, and if we don't get to your questions about the DM rules, just throw it on the Hearth post, and I've been answering every single comment on there as well. So you will get an answer regardless. This will be available on the growth tier when it rolls out. We're really excited about it, and we put it on that tier because we see this as a tier, as a feature needed as you grow your community. Especially, when you're first starting out, you want to maximize engagement. So we don't see lots of communities wanting to limit DMs in that way. But as you grow, it becomes necessary, especially if you're a solopreneur, to have some help in making sure people's communications are happening in the right places. All right, how'd I do?
Good. Alicia just wants to know when.
Within 30 days. This coming month.
Fantastic. We got hearts coming in for that one. Awesome. All right, speedy demo.
Okay, sorry, I'm speeding up even faster. Another thing we're working on is we're updating the member onboarding experience. It is really important that your members have a positive onboarding experience. We've gotten a lot of feedback around just like the natural barriers, especially on mobile, that your members are facing when they're trying to join your community. So we are tackling that now. It's in Andre's hands, designing a beautiful, thanks Mayhill for fixing the last one there. He's designing a beautiful new member onboarding experience, and that will be available to you in the coming month as well. We're also still working on some additional content migration support for newer communities that are coming from other platforms or just have tons of content that they need to move in. So that is coming in the month. And then last but not least, because I know this is a huge ask from a lot of you, is we're taking the beloved voice notes that are available on the mobile app right now, and we're moving them to desktop as well. And you'll all be able to create voice notes on desktop as well as mobile. And we're so excited about that because I use them a lot, and I'm tired of having to go to my mobile phone whenever I want to reply with my voice. Okay. Whew. How we doing?
A lot of love. You did great. I'll talk while you catch your breath. Let's keep on rolling. All right. We got growth updates, guys. So key initiatives. I'm going to keep this quick just so you guys know how we grow, and I want to leave the rest of the time to you guys to ask. So we have new sponsorships and influencer partnerships in play. Really excited to throw down some of these big names here. You might know a few of them. Justin Welsh, Leah Turner, and more that are in the works. Props to my team member, Alyssa, who is working on all of these partnerships in so many different spaces. Really excited to have them bring new folks into the Heartbeat circles. We have the marketing site and affiliate infrastructure updates. Kind of like infrastructure week. Like nobody really is thrilled about this, but it's kind of cool because it means we can publish more content to help you guys on the website more quickly. It also means we can build custom campaigns for affiliates more easily that are more robust with more custom rewards. So really excited to be working on those. We're also exploring reorganizing events and thought leadership content. So we are going to be working on a video podcast coming to YouTube with audio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Stay tuned for this. We're going to see a lot of Murtaza and a lot of other guests and famous people. So really excited about what we're doing there. We're also exploring reinventing tutorials. We've been doing a lot of solo sessions, and we're really starting to think more about what it looks like to do them as summits where you can have an all-day event with lots of learning all in one spot, and really excited to see what that re-envisioning of this comes about. And we're also toying around growth and product workshops where I and members of the product team will bring our expertise and help to you guys directly. Just kind of re-envisioning a little bit about what Hearth events are going to be. So stay tuned as we crystallize those for you. Nick with the side eye. Yeah, basically, Nick. We're gonna have probably Nick do it. Maybe Andre. Maybe Nick. I don't know. I'm volunteering them live on a live stream. So awesome. Let's go through support.
Cool. I'll keep this brief as well too. We have one more support team member starting in January. Again, trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get to a human when you run into issues, have problems, things like that. Even more improvements on payment migrations, which is another hint, is we can help you migrate payments off other platforms and onto Heartbeat. There is so much value in doing that. You get your subscriptions tied in. Any upsells are like one-click upsells, and it allows people to actually update their billing directly in Heartbeat. Creates a really, really seamless experience for your members. And then lastly, we've got a faster pipeline of bug fixes going to engineering with all the improvements coming to, supports basically their whole flows of how they're reporting stuff up. But yeah, if you have any questions on the payment migrations, shoot it over to support@heartbeat.chat. We actually don't have too many in the queue right now, so you can send them over right now and we can help you get started. Cool.
All right, and real fast on the community updates. You guys are here now. We have our December 25 Town Hall. We're going to continue doing these. We love hearing from you guys, so stay tuned. There's going to be more of those coming up in future months. And we do have a solo tutorial coming up January 14th with Liz Wilcox on email engagement. She's an email fan, not just a fan, just an expert and searching savant. I was searching for the right superlative, guys. It eluded me in that moment. But come see what Liz. You can RSVP to these in the Hearth, get your seat claimed, and I'll be there, and we hope to see you there too. So stay tuned for even more reimagining of what events are going to be in 2026. Let's get into the questions, guys. We got so many good ones.
We have a lot of questions. I'm actually going to completely jump the queue and do my Murtaza thing, but we had a lot of questions about. Yeah, she lasted for a long time on Survivor too. We have a lot of questions about just landing pages. So Paula asked, can we please have better landing pages? Currently using GHL in landing pages due to high customization instead of the landing page, but I'd love to use Heartbeat instead. We had that seconded from Rick, as well as Dave coming in and dropping in some thoughts. So I wanted to just pause for a second and give Mehul a chance to talk through a little bit about his vision for landing pages, because he shared this with me and it's really, really cool. And I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Mehul, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, I can share about when we did Payments 2.0 last year, me and Nick spent some time thinking about landing pages and how we want to do it. And we were very intentional to kind of limit the amount of capability that we gave you guys right now, because we knew that we could add a little bit more customization, but there's always going to be, just that a little bit extra that you guys needed. And so we kind of opted for the simple approach just so that we could kind of get started, see how people were using it, get a sense for, what was needed on the landing page side. And I think we always were pushing towards this direction of, okay, can we give you guys more flexibility, whether that comes from some kind of drag and drop builder around your landing pages or giving you more sections that you can pull in and drag around to get it to exactly how you look like. And I think that there's still a world where we kind of move towards that direction. But we've also seen a lot change in how people are building landing pages over the last year. And we're seeing kind of the impact of Pulse and how you guys are using Pulse to help you build out your community. And we're starting to think more about, okay, can we give you guys the customization that you want without having to build out all of the work that goes into, building out that editor and giving you all the fine-grained control. That's work for us to build and that's work for you to learn. And, we were kind of thinking, what's the point of us, building the 10th different version of a website builder that you've seen on every other site? And so we're thinking a little bit more about this world where you can talk with Pulse to help build out your landing page. It's going to be able to write custom code and customization, and you can tell it all of the different colors and layouts that you want, while being able to still pull in all of the kind of core components that are coming from Heartbeat. And so this way we get to give you the flexibility and control that we want, while also kind of make it so that you don't have to learn a new tool. We don't have to build a whole new tool. And so still in the early stages, we're seeing what that might look like, but that's kind of how we're thinking about what it could look like for you guys to have more full control over your website as we move forward.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited because that's the idea, right? Is you're going to be able to build something that's just unable to be built on other platforms because of just the level of customization you're going to get here. So really, really excited for that. So that's a little teaser I'll give you. If you guys can just wait a little bit longer for us, we have some very, very cool stuff coming down the pipeline. All right, we're at 56. So I want to run through some of these questions. So Dwight asked, mainly interested in the features I can use to segment my community into smaller groups who can have their own events, meetings, chat rooms, etc. Dwight, we can actually do this right now with access groups. And so what I would do is I would ask this question directly to Pulse, right? I would go ahead and describe exactly how you were thinking about segmenting the space, and Pulse can not only build it for you, but Pulse can help you understand how are you going to allow members to choose these different spaces, opt in, and what is it going to look like to promote members who can run their own events, who can set this up? And do we want to do this in a draft mode, or do we want those events to automatically go live to people in the space? So there's a lot of features that are going to help you do this, and then even more that's coming down the pipeline that'll allow you to have deeper and deeper fine-grained control. But as you described it right now, that's actually really possible right now. Ask Pulse, and I'm sure it's going to sort you out well. Perfect. Another question was from Thabang, which is a request about PayPal for Heartbeat in South Africa, just because Stripe doesn't work there. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. I will say that one of the issues with adding in these new payment processors is that it's a lot of complexity, and we cannot get it wrong, right? If we make a mistake in code and your chat message doesn't appear, it's more okay than if we make a mistake in code and your payment doesn't appear, right? So it requires so much more testing and so much more effort to get these payment processor methods out that's why it's kind of been the delay. It's something that we can look into moving into the new year, because I know Stripe has deepened their integrations with PayPal and things like that. So there's things like that we can look at, but I just want to sort of temper expectations, as that's what makes it so hard, is there is a really big technical hurdle to doing this. So we will take a look, but I wanted to be honest with you there. If you don't mind scrolling down. Cool. Nicole said, we need searches for workflows. The Control F function works, but it'd be nice to have a search bar. That is such a very reasonable request. We can take a look at that as we go through our batches of QOL improvements. Quality.
I'll just briefly add that Andre is looking at redesigning all settings pages as well. So I think that will get some love in that project.
This always cracks me up, because it's wow, that's such a reasonable request, Claire asked, I'd love to be able to post short videos in my posts in the chat room so my members can see me in person. Okay, cool. Yeah, Claire, we're rethinking a lot around video and how we want video to show up and display in the platform, and the functionality and control around it. So we'll include that as we'll dig in a little bit deeper as we think through that. I can't make any promises, but we will definitely take a look into this. Sade asked, when we schedule posts, sometimes multiple in advance, is it possible to also schedule its archive, meaning it's no longer visible to members or only visible to admins? Okay, so you want a post to appear and then disappear after a certain period of time. That's an interesting one. Let us noodle on that, because I think the biggest thing is I just want to make sure that we have clear use cases and understandings for that, and I want to make sure that it's something that's widely applicable to other communities. We'll take a deeper look into that. If you have some context around how you use that, feel free to drop that in the chat, because it would be super helpful. Okay, cool, for announcements. Interesting. Okay, super helpful. Terika asked, can you link multiple Stripe accounts for teams who want to build on Heartbeat? No, that's not possible yet, Terika, but you can actually customize payout rules pretty deeply in Stripe, and that might be the thing that you want to go through, is customizing who gets paid out on what products when, and there's layers and layers of customization that you can do inside of Stripe. Sade asked, can we have the ability to set a custom notification for mobile app? It currently only shows the default notification sound, which is shared by other apps. Interesting. So a custom notification sound, right? So it's different from the other apps. Super interesting. I have literally never thought about that. So
hey, Murtaza, so you know what this reminds me of? Something way back when I was a customer and I'd asked if it would go ka-ching when a sale happened.
Yeah, I've said the same thing, Mike, since I've been here.
All right. Well, you know what? Y'all have access to the code base. You can go build this out.
You don't want me anywhere near that code base, my friend. You don't. Yeah.
We could take a look at that as well too. Yeah. Dave asked, how does one go about being a preferred partner? We dropped the link into the chat. Nick, if you don't mind, oh, well, you're screen sharing. If someone doesn't mind grabbing that link and redropping it, that would be great. And I just wanted to call that out because I think it's really important. If you do want to partner with Heartbeat, there's so many things that we know our customers need past just building a community on Heartbeat, and we want to be able to help them find great services, great vendors to work with. Please, please, please apply. We'd love to have you. Cool. And then Dwight said, one thing I'd love to be able to do is select a few preferred emojis for reacting to posts. Yeah, great request. We can also take a look at that during our next batch of quality of life improvements. I feel like that should be like a pretty simple one, but okay. Dasha said, is there a chance to have a workflow to deactivate the account on a chosen date? Very interesting one. We do have the ability to do this with payments, which is not to deactivate you, but to like have payments where when you pay for a thing, you're automatically removed after a certain period of time. So if this is related to a payments thing, I would definitely recommend checking that out. If not, feel free to just drop a note into the Zoom chat or Riverside chat. Okay. Alicia asked, in our own affiliate links, do we have the ability to say when people sign up in the group, they get 20% off and the other person? Yeah, so you have the ability to do like double-sided incentives. So I would double check on the affiliates and you should be able to set that. Dave asked, coupon links is planned? Yes, that is, sorry, I thought it was a question, but that's planned, right, Mayhole? I'm like 90% sure it is.
I think we already support including coupons in sign up.
Yeah, it's just poorly communicated, so we will do a better job at that.
Some better docs on that.
Cool. We'll make sure there's a clear help article for that too, and we make that easily available. Nicole said, hey, we had multiple businesses within Sovereign Magazine. We have the podcast, magazine shows. They all have different logos, hex codes, so those would be customizable on landing pages. Yeah, so like we said, Nicole, you're going to get a lot of customization in the earlier note that Mayhole gave. All right, let's keep going. Can we send reminders just for annual members, please? Yeah, so Stripe I know does have automatic reminders, but I don't think there's a way to configure it if you're like monthly or annual. We can take a look at this as we look at payments improvements, because I know we do have some projects around payments improvements planned. So we'll see if we can add this to a quality of life sprint. It's one of those things where it's going to be either really easy or really hard. So we'll take a look at this more deeply. Someone asked, would we consider adding a map feature? This is a common request that we've gotten and we've held off just because like I haven't seen like a lot of clarity in sort of how this is used to build better engagement and connect the community deeper. I found in practice, it's something that's like pretty to look at and people don't actually use. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about how you guys are using it if you're using one. Yeah, like Claire, like I'd love to see if you can give a little bit more about how your members use this. Yeah, we are looking at the onboarding. It is on the list. And then Heather said, would it be hard to create the ability to allow our own emojis for badges? I don't know. Mayhole, is that one of those things that's really easy or really hard? Having custom emojis for badges.
That should be doable.
Okay, sweet. You heard it from the man himself. Okay, cool. This is helpful. Let's take a look at the map feature. I will be honest, it's not going to be something that's scheduled for Q1 of next year, but like we could take a look at it maybe like Q2, Q3. But it's something that we will seriously take a look at, given that it is helping you with some engagement. Yeah. Cool. Okay, sweet. I think that's hit everything. Oh my gosh, yeah, a lot of +1s for the maps. Okay, great. Whew, I think we got through everything. I don't think there's any other questions that I'm missing, but thank you guys so much for showing live. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Did you see the last one there about allowing their own emojis in badges?
Yeah. Mayhole touched on that. We can take a look at that, but it should be doable. Yeah. Okay, amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining on live. Thank you everyone who stayed 4 minutes extra. We really appreciate your time, all the feedback. This is how we get better, is having these conversations with you and being able to go direct and understand what do you need to build your business. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for being incredible, for joining on live, for giving so much feedback, for being vocal. We will see you guys at the next one. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, you guys.